Hello, hello, hello again, people from all walks of life, hopefully, but most likely it's just going to be martial artists that are watching this because every once in a while I say something that kind of triggers your head, or at least I hope every once in a while I say something that triggers a good thought and it advances your training in some way, even in small baby steps. But welcome back to Nain Short. If this is the first time, please like and subscribe. Notification, all that. Send it to your friends, whether you like them or not, and hopefully we can get more and more people on the show. But we're back here in Physique Magnifique, the basement. Wonderful, wonderful facility. If you're ever in South San Francisco, come on by, check us out. That's 387 Grand Avenue. So today's topic. It's less about an idea and more about a question, right? Last episode we talked about aha moments where something finally clicked and it completely changes the way that you view a particular lesson or an overall idea of one of the lessons that you got in the past, and it changes everything. All of a sudden you reinvigorated, you're excited once again, you start exploring, but the question is, what do you do with that? Where do you go after the aha moment? Now, I think far too often what we do, at least I know I had this problem at one point, is I had the aha moment, say for example, in Sinawali, learning first how to do the bits, right? And then you get really good at it. And then you start doing variations and all these other things, and you start changing the angles and all that. That looks sloppy as shit. But you go back to the very basic idea of Sinawali, and you play with it, and you get better at it, and then you finally understand, okay, I need to tuck it in and turn my body to give myself space. Oh, now I'm getting these clarity of how exactly I'm supposed to be doing this. And then you get hit with the aha moment, or rather the revelation that you don't fight like that. And you hear it often, for those of you who practice FMA, that Sinawali, you don't fight that way. No one does. So then, what do we practice it for? Okay. Then you get more revelations, right? Eventually, you come across the idea of defanging the snake, oftentimes shown with Sinawali. And it's no longer stick, 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 stick. Now you're hitting the hand and you're using the movements to attack the weapon or the weapon hand or both hands. And then you move on to your barrage of attacks. And as people progress in that idea, they get really good at it, but still nobody fights that way. So where do these aha moments come? Well, as you progress in this simple exercise, you start understanding where your points of contact are. Okay, that's one of the first aha moments. And then you start realizing, oh wait, hey, what if I use the puño instead? All of a sudden, Sinawali isn't a striking exercise. Now I'm doing hooks left and right. I'm now using the exploration of understanding that if Sinawali isn't used the way that it is taught or practiced, then what is its use? And once you start realizing that that aha moment leads you to an exploration of how to then change this simple idea into other parts, into exploring other aspects of your training. For those, again, who do FMA, many have the puño, which can be used for striking or hooking. You can rake. So if you're practicing this simple movement and all of a sudden you're focusing on just the puño, now you're learning how to hook within the same motion. But that's with sticks. Again, it goes back to the idea that nobody fights in Sinawali. So then how do you take that understanding, that now clarity that you can explore and go beyond the basic 6 movements when you don't have any sticks? All right. So without sticks, it's this. It's essentially a very pretty form of patty cake, right? Ba, 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 ba. Same movements. Nothing in them. Can you then apply, can they be strikes? Well, sure. You can say that now they're hammer fists. But again, no one really fights in that direction. So what else can it be? What else is there other than the coordination of your hands so you're not tying yourself up, so you learn a bit more how to move your hands a little faster? Well, then you move on, right? You played with Sinawali as far as it went, and you move on. Say now you go into something like Huba Luba. Hey Rick, actually, I think it would work if you were here.
I'm coming.
Yeah. I know, this is one of your last ones before your surgery.
Before my surgery.
I don't want to hurt your
Not
glasses.
the glasses, I want to be blind.
No. Blind and invalid. Well, that part I don't know.
Okay.
But say Huba Luba, right? Now we're moving on to a different exercise, and we're going to look for aha moments in this particular exercise. Because now that we know that we can have aha moments that will widen our view and evolve what we know, it makes sense that we are now looking for those moments in other things.
Good idea.
Again, the beginning of what do you do after you have one, we'll look for more. That's the first step. So as he throws his punch, we do 1, 2, 3, and then I go. 1, 2, 3. There you wait. 1, 2, 1, 2. Can you throw out a punch? 1, 2, 3. Oh.
Aha.
Ha! I know, my acting sucks. But if you haven't caught on yet, which I know most of you have already, it's Sinawali starting from the left side. As he throws his punch, it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and he completes it on his side. There, that's the 6 count in Sinawali. And I know some of you are going to be like, well, Nain, there's 8 in Sinawali. Yeah, the point is that there's 3 from this side and 3 from this side, and it just continues on. So technically there's as many numbers as you want to add to them, but it really is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you start back at the beginning. A lot of people start with the hands open, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wow.
Aha.
That's the only difference. And again, nobody fights that way, so that really isn't relevant. I just wanted to point out because I know some of you are going to say, there's 8, 9. Anyways, so now we've taken everything that we know about it and thrown it away because the focus is no longer how do I make this exercise better? It's how does this exercise help me get better? And if nobody fights that way, then what kind of concepts can we explore? All of a sudden, that's 2 pieces. Now, some of you who've practiced sticks, you've seen this exercise in Sinawali. You go, bop, 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 bop. It's still Sinawali, but you do 2 at a time because now the focus isn't the movement, it's what you're getting out of it. And then on to the other 2, another 3, and so on and so forth. So now I'm expanding my understanding of this movement and exploring its possibilities because I am no longer attached to how it was taught, but rather what it can become later on.
I'm out of here.
Thank you very much, sir. Now, that's with Sinawali. And there's other things to explore because here's the thing. When you're told go and make it your own, essentially that's what you're being asked to do. Go explore what else you can do with this stuff if you understand enough of it to do so. If you don't, well then yes, you focus on that idea. You start doing all the movements. You start doing you start doing upper 8, lower 8, you start doing heaven and earth and heaven, and all the combinations in between. But essentially it is this movement of your arms. And when you put sticks on it, it looks really cool, and you can go low, you can go 2 high, 1 low, 2 low, 1 high. It doesn't matter. All those combinations are great, and it looks awesome. But again, what purpose do they have? Now we took the sticks away and we associated the same movements with huba luba, or as we call it in the bladed mind, parry, place, trap. Now, the reason why we call it parry, place, trap is because now we're assigning purpose to the movements. The clarity is not anymore of just doing the motion, but each motion having a purpose to it. So now we've expanded that idea even further by exploring what you can do with each individual pieces. Because you have to ask yourself, we just had a discussion about 6 or 8. Now, the number is irrelevant, but the fact that we are assigning numbers means that each one is one piece of a whole. So what each piece can do is going to be dependent on what you're trying to accomplish in that moment. If the first hit is to hit the hand with the sticks, then that's what you're trying to do. The second one is to hit the elbow, and then hit the bicep, then hit the shoulder, then finally hit the face. It will change the way that you accomplish it. And that's with sticks. Now with empty hands, the first one is to parry this out so I don't get hit. The second one, instead of placing it, maybe I scrape across the eyes. Maybe the third one stands to the back of the head and I grab the shoulder on this side and I twist, and then 4, 5, and 6 is just beating somebody in the face as they're falling down to the ground. I'm not going to do that with Rick because he has a bad back. So just imagine Rick falling down, getting beaten in the face. It'll be fun, I promise. I do it all the time. It hasn't happened yet, but I'm trying. I'm close. Especially if he's going to be bedridden for a week. Beat him with an ugly stick. I mean, a regular stick. Now, what if the movement then, I apply the idea that we're going up and down, right? The lower 8, I guess it's called, or earth, depending on what system you use. What if instead I parry, and the second one, I hit low? Say I disrupt the knee, or I hit the inside of the leg. Doesn't matter, but I go low, and then I go back high. I just did the same idea of Sinwali, of all the variations behind it, but now I'm applying it differently. Because the aha moment wasn't so much nobody uses that way. That's more of a negative thought. The idea, or the aha, was how can I use it? And that became the driving force on being able to then explore. First, we have to understand what it is and how it was given, because, well, that's part of the art. Then we have to, in my opinion, question, how useful is this? What is it useful for? And once I figure out its use, can I apply that same concept to everything else we do? And not just Sinawali. The lessons I got from there, can I apply it to Uba Luba? Can I apply it to knife tapping? Can I apply it to a sensitivity drill, to sparring, and eventually application? Because the aha moments are great, but if they stay only in the realm of the lesson that you receive, well, then it's not going to go beyond that.
You guys okay here?
So, what else can we do in order to take this concept and grow beyond its limits? And pretty much it's just repeat the process. Because as you progress, as you get... Sorry, folks. My director's a dick. As you progress, new ideas are going to pop up. Other aha moments are going to be discovered, because if you're applying the scientific method, which I know we haven't talked about, but essentially that's what we're doing. We come up with an idea, we test it, we poke holes in it, and it's either going to work, it's either going to hold water, or it's not. In which case, we have to figure out why, and then make it work. And if you can't, well then you move on to something else. But if you can, well then you can use that same idea and apply it to other things. And as you go in your process of learning, you're going to come up with all new crazy ideas that you didn't think of before. Now, that's just one way to use aha moments, and that's the way that I've used so far. Now, if you have other ways of using those aha moments, hopefully this will give you different avenues, or you can share what your avenues are to figure stuff out and explore your own ideas. Go back to the things that you may not have touched in a while and really start asking yourself, why did I learn that? Is it just because of the art, or is there something that could be taken from it that I can then apply to so many other things and then grow? Again, it's more of a question, like I said. I wasn't trying to give you anything more than that. So yeah, have fun with it. Play around. Figure stuff out. Question your own art based on your understanding. And if you have questions, find somebody who is far more knowledgeable than you and ask them. Not me, because I'm just a guy who's trying to learn as much as he possibly can, and I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I know a lot. I just know what I know as well as I know it. That's it. So before I go, I do want to remind you of one little thing. August 14th, Cijo Johnny Oliva is holding a t-shirt seminar all about t-shirts. How to set it up, how to wrap it, how to stop punches, how to go against a knife, how to wrap people up, how to go from wrist to arm to neck if you need to. So much fun. If you've never seen it, please look him up. Twin Dragon Academy, is that it? Twin Dragon Kung Fu Academy in San Carlos, and that's 151 Old Country Road. Okay? Look him up on Facebook. He's put up some videos in reference to his t-shirt techniques. He's going to show a lot more in this. I think it's a 4-hour seminar, 5-hour seminar. It's all there, 4 hours, all right? So it starts at 10, look it up, find the address. I believe it is $50 per person, so make sure you mark the date and you get your butt there. And on a side note, Rick is having surgery. We've said so in the Kali Conversation, so it may affect our production even of this show, because he is literally the whole production team. From director to editor to fluffer, all of it, that's him. So it may affect some of the episodes. We will do our best to still bring out content as often as we possibly can, but folks, life gets in the way sometimes, but we will be back. So please keep a lookout for that. So the next one, 3, 2, 1, cut!